My first impression of Cheverus High School was, wow, this is nothing like Westbrook. And Westbrook was where I was last semester. This video will be mostly comparing and contrasting the two high schools that I've visited thus far. And they are basically polar opposites to each other, and they're only 10 minutes away. And first off, when I got there, it was an insane looking school. I had never seen a high school that looked like that. It almost looked like a college campus. It's located right on the back bay, like right on the water, and all the other surrounding houses around it are just insane, massive houses that are very nice. And that's nothing what I got from Westbrook. Westbrook gets a kind of a reputation of being a more poverty-stricken area here in Maine, and it definitely shows compared to Portland. The biggest thing at Westbrook, I would say, would be the diversity. There's all sorts of different races and different religions that I learned about in order to treat the patients. There was even language barriers that I had to deal with. At Cheverus, it's very predominantly white, and if there are the couple other races there's no language barrier. They're very American, whatever their nationality may be. At Westbrook, I looked it all up, it was 77% white students. My high school back in New Hampshire was 98% white. Huge difference for me. I've never experienced something like that. 10% of Westbrook was African American, and all other races were around 5%. At Cheverus, it's 88% white, more than 10% more than Westbrook, and 6.2% Asian American. Meaning that it's just a huge, huge difference in race. And that could be partly because it's a Jesuit private school, which is a division of a Roman Catholic school. And what's very interesting about Cheverus is that they offer athletic scholarships, I have not heard of any other high school that has done that, but I'm sure there is. Tuition at this private school is $18,000, and you can pay less than that going to a college, like a state college in Maine or anywhere in New England. And the biggest thing, because of that tuition to go to Cheverus, means there was no budget for the athletic training division or department. And a prime example would be the fact that at Cheverus there are 2 game readies, which is a modality of compression and icing at the same time. Westbrook has never seen one of those. And just to even put it into more perspective, a game ready costs around $3,000, $3,500, according to Katie McCarthy. And she has 2 of them that were refurbished, and she also bought the wraps, is what they call it, and they're around $600 a piece. And she has one that's for the cervical neck and one that is for the dome. And she has not opened them or used them. She bought them because she had extra money to spend, and she thought they would be cool. I would do the same. Another example is that they gave me 3 shirts. One really nice sweatshirt, one really nice t-shirt, and another t-shirt. I didn't get anything from Westbrook, and I completely understand why. When I got there, Brittany was like, let's practice taping. And she gave one of us each one roll of tape, like the nice Jaybird tape. And then she told us that if we wanted to practice taping, we would have to bring stuff from U&E. And that's just because of their budget. Like, she would use every roll to the last piece of tape. It's just the way it was there. She didn't have any money to spare. Also, a big difference in the two is the size of the room. Size of the room at Cheverus is maybe 3 or 4 times bigger. It has 8 tables. 3 taping tables and 1 table that's basically like a full-size or king-size bed on the ground to stretch out patients. Cheverus had, again, a small room, and they had 3 tables, 1 taping table. Another example of the huge difference in these 2 schools is the fact that Westbrook had slim pickings for modalities, for physical agents they could use. They had ice bags, they had 1 or 2 foam rollers, they had a hydrocollator, very small one, and it wasn't gel like Cheverus is. They have gel pads and a massive brand new hydrocollator. And they had two things at eSTEM, which I never saw got used because I doubt they were even running. At Cheverus, they have dual modalities on carts. She's got one that's ultrasound and one that's stim and one that does both. They've got everything you could possibly imagine. And then they have cabinets on cabinets on cabinets and backstore rooms to hold everything they have. The place is packed all the time with stuff that they have. They have probably 3 times as many coolers. It's just insane, the huge difference. And I've been lucky enough that my first 2 sites, I get to compare and contrast these two. I have seen both ends of the spectrum. And quite frankly, I see what I want to do in the future, and hopefully I can care enough and study enough and do as well on the BOC as the trainers at Cheverus. Cheverus has an assistant athletic trainer because they can afford to do that, which I find incredible. He's an incredible help too. Just having 2 opinions from people at the same place kind of helps out a lot too. I'm never not learning, and they can have more students. So yeah, that's my first impression of Cheverus. I couldn't help but compare it to Westbrook, and this is not at all a shot at Westbrook High School or the training staff there. It's just straight up comparing and contrasting the differences of these 2 schools via location, money, diversity, everything.